Hi, I'm Karina, and I'm with Apigee Google Cloud. Welcome to the Edge Virtual Hosts module in the Apigee Troubleshooting series. In this module, we're going to introduce Edge Virtual Hosts, demonstrate how to enable one-way and two-way TLS, and provide some commonly used troubleshooting tips. In this Enable Two-Way TLS with Edge Virtual Hosts video, we're going to have a quick recap about two-way TLS configuration discussed in the Introduction to Edge Virtual Host video. We'll also cover the requirements, the steps to do the setup and validation. Finally, we'll do a quick demo on how you could enable two-way TLS between the API clients and Edge routers using the Edge UI. In the Introduction to Edge Virtual Host video, we have seen this slide. Just remember that both key store and trust store are needed to configure the Edge Virtual Hosts in the two-way TLS configuration. If you are already familiar with or you have watched the Enable One-Way TLS with Edge Virtual Hosts video, you will find this slide familiar with an additional requirement for the trust store configuration. The requirements are: the TLS configuration can only be performed on a paid org. It can only be configured on port 443. It must be performed by users with the right permissions, for example, org admins. Users must have acquired their own DNS entry and have configured the DNS entry pointing to the default apigee.net domain name, which was set up by Apigee when the org was provisioned. Users must have acquired, for the key store, a pair of TLS key and certificate chain from a well-known CA, such as VeriSign, DigiCert. The key and certificate chain must be in either the PEM or the PKCS12 format. Users must also supply for the trust store the CA certificates for the API client certificate. For the trust store, the client CA certificates must only be in the PEM format. Like requirements, the steps to enable two-way TLS configuration are also similar to the steps to enable one-way TLS configuration, with additional steps to set up the trust store. The steps are: in the right org and environment, create a key store, upload the key and certificate chain to the key store by creating a key store alias, create a key store reference pointing to the key store, create a trust store, upload the API client's CA certificates separately to the trust store by creating an alias for each CA certificate, create a trust store reference pointing to the trust store, create a virtual host with the user's DNS name as the host alias, and use the key store reference and the trust store reference in the configuration. Now we could validate a virtual host to ensure TLS connections work. In the terminal window, enter the curl command to access HTTPS domain name with the client key and certificate pair. The request goes through the DNS server and reaches the virtual host configured on the Edge routers. Once the TLS handshake completes successfully, Edge could return a pre-configured response. For this demo, I have configured an Edge API proxy to show the welcome message. Now we're going to do a quick demo on how to enable two-way TLS for two-way-demo.apigeegsc.com, and we have configured its DNS entry to point to its corresponding apigee.net domain name. We also have acquired the TLS certificate chain and key pair from Let's Encrypt in the PEM format, and make sure the certificate chain are in the correct order, the server certificate at the top and the signing CA at the bottom. For the Trust Store, we have acquired the API client CA certificates in the PEM format. Now for the demo, we want to see that accessing https://two-way-demo.apigeegsc.com through curl does not work because there's no virtual host defined for it yet, and this is the expected result. Now on the Edge UI, we're in the right org and the right environment. The first step would be to create a key store. After the key store is created, let's create a key alias. I'm going to upload both key and certificate for the key store. There's no password. And the full chain. Now the key store is created. You can take a look. It tells us the alias has a key file and a certificate. The common name is correct, and the issuer is correct. Let's create a key store reference. And it is pointing to the correct key stored. So I'm going to just save it. The next step is to create a trust store for the client CA certificates. I'm naming it accordingly so I can tell a trust store from a key store. Now we're going to upload the CAs as aliases. First, I'm uploading the client's intermediate CA. And I am picking the right file. Save. Now I need to upload the root CA. A good tip about distinguishing trust store from key store is by looking at the little icon here. If there's a key, it tells you this alias has a key file. If there is none, then there's no key file and it is for trust store. These aliases are only for certificates. Next, we're going to create a trust store reference pointing to the trust store we just created. Next is to create a virtual host. Going to name it two-way-demo and put in the host alias. Make sure the key store is properly selected. It matches. And because it's a two-way TLS, we have to turn on the client authentication. And we are going to select the trust store reference from the drop-down. The virtual host is created. Now we go back and rerun the curl command and see what we get. It's connected. If you need to or prefer to use management APIs to enable TLS virtual hosts, please reference docs.apigee.com, and the most relevant documents can be found in the links mentioned in this slide. The links are also mentioned in the video description section for your easy references. If you would like to know more about Edge Virtual Hosts, please watch our other videos in this module. Please do share, like, and comment if you find this video helpful. Thank you.